Good morning, Jackie.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yay.
How are you guys?
This is so exciting.
I know. We're both like smiling from ear to ear.
Oh, so excited I get to go see y'all.
Yeah.
Is it okay if I just kind of become a fanboy for a while?
So, I'm fine with that. That would be fine.
All right.
Oh.
Okay. Well, of course, those of us who've been listening to Christian music for any amount of time recognize your voice, recognize your name, and there is a lot of excitement about you coming to town, not only from the women who got tickets to our sold-out event, but, a lot of the guys, the husbands and the boyfriends saying, oh, man, I want to go meet Jackie, too. I want to go see her sing and speak.
It's just for the girls.
I know. No boys allowed.
Oh,
Well-
I'm excited because I've been looking forward to this event for quite a while, and I've been putting together my notes and all that stuff, and I still have my second session that I have to work on. So I just finished my first session, so I get to speak for 2 different sessions, and then I get to sing.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's going to be fun.
Which is why the guys want to come, because you're going to be singing.
Yeah.
I know.
Because we've been fans for so long.
Next time.
All right.
I'll tell you what, Jackie, before we get into the actual conference, let's talk about you a little bit. We understand that you were just on a trip to Africa, and we want to know, what did you do while you were there?
Yes, I was in Rwanda, actually. I was there for, it was 9 days, the longest I've ever been away from my husband and my children all at the same time. So that was definitely a step of faith. Like, I didn't know if I was going to be able to, like if I was going to try to be coming home early. But I went out there. We were trying to raise funds for lunches at the kids' schools, because a lot of times in Rwanda, a lot of the kids, the only meal they get out of the whole day is at school. And on the weekends, like, they don't eat. So we were trying to raise money for, for lunches at the schools. And I tell you, so we sponsored a little boy over there as well. And his name is Jordan. And I got to meet him while we were there.
Nice.
I just fell in love with him. I wanted to scoop him away and bring him home with me.
Oh, that's amazing. So fun.
Yeah. It's amazing when you see, for me, doing something like that, being so far away from home, away from my family and everybody, it's definitely out of my comfort zone. And so when the email came in, they asked me, would you be willing to come and do this? I was like, but I was scared. I was like, this is out of my comfort zone. I mean, I've done South and Central American, missionary trips and stuff like that, but this was something different. So I asked the Lord, I was like, what do you want me to do? And I replied to them immediately, and I said, yes, I'll do this. But I was still going, I felt the peace, but yet I was still feeling that thing of should I do this? And then after I said yes, and after I emailed them, it was I just felt like God was saying, thank you for, not saying thank you, but you said yes. So with me saying yes to doing something that was out of my comfort zone, a prayer that I'd been praying for quite a while that had not been answered yet, the day that I was about to leave on the trip, I got a phone call, and it happened to be about my son. And basically that prayer that I've been praying to the Lord got answered the same day I was leaving to go out of the country.
Oh, wow.
So it was okay, God was just showing me, hey, when you're walking in obedience and when you're saying yes, I'm going to be faithful in the things that you're asking of me as well. So it was just really beautiful how it all came together.
Now, we've been very excited as well that you had released a new book last fall.
Yes, ma'am.
And can you talk us a little bit about that?
The book is called When God Reescripts Your Life. And I am married. We have 2 little boys, a 12-year-old, he's now 12, he's in 6th grade. And we have our youngest, who is in 4th grade, who is 10, who's about to be 11 this month. In this whole I've been doing music a long time and, been around, just been in the industry for a long time. I believe a lot of times that God that there when we make poor choices, God can take those poor choices and turn them for good.
Amen.
And a lot of times we confuse our dreams with God's calling and God's will. And I say that because our oldest son is on the spectrum for autism. And I find that to be ironic because he struggles to communicate. And I remember many times in my life, just if you're going to be in ministry, you have to be able to communicate. And my husband and I both are in ministry, which requires communication. And we devoted our whole lives, my whole childhood went into ministry and trying to win people for Jesus, communicating the love of Jesus. And God chose to give me a son, my oldest son, who, when he was in my belly, I remember thinking, this child is going to have a beautiful ministry. And as time went on and how, the way that God created him, we discovered that communication was going to be very difficult. And so I remember thinking, okay, but I know that you have a ministry in place for him. So how is this going to be possible if he can't communicate? And I remember being very angry with God because it just felt like he really let me down on that. And then I had to go through a mourning process of mourning the dreams that I had for my son and beginning to dream new dreams, but having to mourn those dreams for a while. So a lot of times we have these dreams and we confuse them with God's calling and God's will. And I truly believe to this day still that my son does have a ministry, and I don't know what that looks like. So it's a lot of re-scripting of my life, and I believe that he does that in all our lives. We have this concept and this idea of what life is going to look like, but then God flips the script on us, and we're like, okay, wait, that's not what I was planning. That's not the way it was supposed to go, but that's the way he wants it to go. And walking in obedience, 98% of the time, walking in obedience, what he wants us to do is not what we want to do. So it's difficult, but it's possible, but it's difficult, and it's just knowing the difference.
How can people get a hold of this book?
It's available, through Amazon. It's also in Spanish. I have the book in Spanish as well. It's audiobook and all that fun stuff. Barnes and Noble, anywhere they sell books.
We're on the phone with Jaci Velasquez, our guest speaker for the Rejoice, Refresh, Renew Women's Conference. And we just talked about your new book. But of course, you're best known for your music with, what was it, like 100 number one singles? Something like that. What have you been up to lately musically?
Well, I released a record called Trust in 2017, or spring 2017. Actually, that was the last record I released. So we started working on new stuff. I just have been so focused on the book right now that I haven't really, I hadn't been able to move on to start making music. So we just started that process. Also, my husband and I, when you want to talk about walking in obedience, my parents were pastors. My husband and I both are PKs, pastors' kids. So I remember as a child watching my parents and just seeing how difficult it is to be, on staff at a church, to be pastors of a church. And just I remember telling God, I never want to do that. So never put me in that place, please. So,
famous last words, Jaci.
Well, Jaci, I told him I'd never go to a third world country, and I just came back from my second trip to Cambodia, so I get it.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying, right? So isn't it funny how God just laughs at that and goes, "You're so cute. That's adorable that you just don't want." Well, back in October, we went on staff at a church. So we are the creative directors at a church here in Franklin, Tennessee. So that is, once again, God saying, oh, you have this idea and this plan? Well, never mind. Go ahead and put that away. This is what I want for you. So once again, that's walking in obedience, something I said I never wanted to do. We are now creative directors at a Graceland Community Church.
I always thought I should have said I'd never go to Hawaii. That's probably what I
Man, I should have thought of that.
I'm just saying.
Yep. Well, we are so excited that you're coming to our women's conference on March 7th. And like I mentioned, so many of us so excited to see you in person and hear you speak. And so for those who did get tickets,
lucky enough to get tickets,
who got tickets before we sold out to the conference, what can they expect when they come to see you?
My hope and my prayer is that we will have a time together where we will be in community with like-minded people, and that God would show up and reveal His plans for our lives, and also just allow us to grow together. Well, sometimes we learn from other people's mistakes, and then we also find this like beauty in that moment where somebody made a mistake and you feel like you're the only one who has made this mistake, and you go, aha, God can use me too. And all He wants from us is just for us to say yes. So my hope and my prayer is that we have a great time of building friendships, loving on each other, all for building up the kingdom of God.
Yeah, we're looking forward to seeing that happen in a month. Yeah. So, Jaci, again, thank you so much for being willing to be the speaker at our conference.
Jaci, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Tell people how they can keep in contact with you.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm on JaciVelasquez.com. There's Instagram, Jaci Velasquez, Facebook, official Jaci Velasquez. That's probably the best way.
All right.
Sounds good. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, and thank you for being so obedient to what God has called you to do.
Thank you so much, you guys. God bless you, and I look forward to seeing you.
I know. It's about a month, right? It's coming.
Yes, ma'am.